me ducks, how are we? I'm just getting ready. I rushed to get a drink. I told everybody else in chat 5 minutes, coffee, and then my kettle took longer to boil than I thought. How are we doing? It's the turn of the week. It's hump day. Seems to come around quicker and quicker every week, doesn't it? It's also Ash Wednesday. I could actually take some ash, but I won't. That'll be disrespectful. But yeah, Ash Wednesday, which means it's also the first day of Lent. Anybody giving anything up? In fact, before you answer that, just so the comments, because if you all start answering now, I'll never get through the hellos. So Rob, hello, first one in again, Rob, at 3:50. Wow. That's an hour and 40 minutes before the live. Hello, Rob, Holly, Ellie, Richard, Stephen, Sandra, Jackie, Laurie. We have Dan and Sarah, Jennifer, Susan, SL Wyman, Jackie, I think I said Jackie, Sage Advice, Tammy Pie. We have Zane, hello Zane, Kim, Spirit Wing, Donna, MA, Adam. There's me saying ready. Maria, Rayburn Glands, Chris, Thought Thingy, Kimberly, Spirit Wing. I think, have I caught up? The Crooks Nook, Ness, and Deanne, hello Deanne, Emily, Cosmic Angel, Elizabeth, and I think I've caught up. If I've missed anyone, I do apologise. So yes, today, Ash Wednesday, which is celebrated by Christians, having ash anointing on them. It's a fast to commemorate Jesus going into the wilderness for 40 days fasting, and Christians use that time to give up something for Lent. My sister is a minister, as I probably mentioned before, and she gives up something every year for Lent, for those 40 days. Anybody here going to give up anything? Yes, I've given up everything. Richard's just given up. That's it. Flat out given up. No tarot purchases. Now, come on. Let's be sensible here, Richard. No alcohol, no chocolate, no fun. I'm going to be a moody bugger until March. You've got to go further than March. 40 days. No, yeah. End of March, is it? Why are we saying sorry to hear Zane? What's up with Zane? Oh, you need some distraction. Well, I'm glad you're here to get that distraction. This iPad is playing up again and jumping everywhere. I don't do all that. I'm just trying to be a good girl. Molamia, hello. Heck no, I can't imagine giving up anything after the year we've had. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Michelle. I'm giving up not buying what I want. Good answer. I'm a Wiccan, but my husband identifies as Catholic, though he doesn't attend church. March the 29th. Is that when Lent ends? They use this, rub this. Oh, sorry. They used to rub this on our heads in school years ago. Yeah. And yeah, lots of religious beliefs and traditions do. When I used to go to the Brahma Kumaris, they used to do something annually called Rakshabandan. and it's a bracelet that the sisters put on the wrists. They put them on the wrists of everyone now, but traditionally, historically, sisters used to put it on the wrist of the brothers, and it is like a protection. And I've got a few still. They're like a red ribbon, a red string with a gold emblem, usually with what they call the Eye of Baba in the middle. But what they do is during Rakshabandan, you sit facing one of the sisters and you look at their third eye and you concentrate on their third eye, and they look at yours and you make a soul to soul connection. But what they do afterwards then is they put a little mark here in ash. It's usually coloured ash, like an orangey colour. It's quite a powerful experience, actually. It's quite uncomfortable at first, but then you kind of settle into it. We are all living in total Lent. If I can't have Mardi Gras, you can't make me Lent. Any update on your mum, dear Simon? She's I've rang a couple of times today because this morning she couldn't, or I say she couldn't, she didn't want to get out of bed. So I just said to my stepdad, look, you know, if she was in hospital, which she would be if we weren't in this current situation, she'd be sleeping anyway and being just woke up for meds and things. So he said, just let her sleep. And I rang again about 3, so a couple of hours ago. She was awake, but she was snoozing. But sleep is good, right? It's your body's way of healing. So yeah, she's okay. She's very tired today, but it does take it out on you. That sounds quite cool, Simon. Oh, is that the Rakshabandan? Yeah, with a Rakhi that you get on your wrist. I love how some Christians, not all of course, will condemn paganism and all things like, and yet they'll go on about a big ash cross on their forehead, like, hello. Yeah. Well, I mean, Easter, Ostara, you know, it's all taken from, isn't it? I don't know if you'd have to probably be in the UK, although you might be able to get it on it's not on BBC, it's an ITV program. But Joanna Lumley, I just adore Joanna Lumley. For those who might not be too familiar with her, she's been a Bond girl. She was in a program called The New Avengers years ago. But she's most famous nowadays, I suppose, for playing Patsy in Absolutely Fabulous alongside Jennifer Saunders. And she's always done these travel programs over here. So she's been to India, she's gone up the Nile, she's been to see the Northern Lights, she's been to Norway, she's traveled everywhere. But because of lockdown, she's done travels in my own country, because she says she's lived in this country for 65 years. And there's parts of it she hasn't seen. And it's been really lovely for her. She's been all over, you know, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, England. And in this episode, she's been down to Somerset area. So it quickly showed you Glastonbury and the Glastonbury tour and stuff. But she went to meet some druids who were performing a ceremony for Samhain. So it must have been recorded, obviously, at the end of October last year. And it was lovely to watch. They let her take part and join in. And she interviewed them and said, what does druidry mean? And they was talking about how, you know, druids managed to hold on till the 7th century, and then Christianity came and kind of wiped them out. And it wasn't until, well, over 1,000 years later that druids, you know, kind of there was a re-emergence of them, because lots of poets and bards and things were studying the old Celtic ways, and they revived Druidism. But I've always been fascinated by Druidry. The only thing that put me off when I looked into it was I read somewhere that you had to be a poet and you had to produce poetry, and me and poetry, no. But I love the Druid kind of practice and way of life. It really appeals to me. I think I might have been a druid in a previous incarnation. But yeah, if you're in the UK, or you can get a hold of it in other countries, it's a really lovely program to watch. Apparently Sundays don't count in Lent. You can have all the goodies on a Sunday, mind you. Perhaps my friend's lying. I think so. I'm giving up trying to guess quote of the day. Only joking. Sandra was the champion yesterday. Keep scrolling down. Hey, are we talking about Rakshabandan? I was talking about Rakshabandan. Yeah. And I've got a couple of the Rakis in the spare room hanging on a wall unit. But I used to love going every year for Rakshabandan. But that was with the Brahma Kumaris. Simon, sending love and blessings to all you and your well. Thank you, Patrice. Where are we? I'm lucky. All the Catholics I know are very accepting of my path. My husband's best friend and his family are Catholic as well as I'm grandmother to the daughters. Love, 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 love. Joanna Lumley. I love her too. Yeah. A friend of mine's met her. He picked her up from the train station. I'm sure I've told this story quite recently, unless it was to somebody at work. But he runs a 1940s style sweet shop in a little village in Derbyshire called Tissington, and they were filming there. And he agreed for Joanna Lumley to come into the shop and film. And he actually picked her up from the train station in his little car, and she just came walking in, opened the car door. Are you David? And she jumped in, and he said she just chatted like she was, an old friend. He said she's so lovely. So today's weirdness isn't Mercury related, though that might be preferable. The Queen is a Druid bard. There's footage of the ceremony online. Wow, because she's also the head of the Church of England. So that's really interesting, isn't it? We got the news flash today that her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, is in hospital. He was taken into hospital yesterday. Precautionary, but they always say that. He's 99. I mean, is doing good. So is she, but it's quite rare for men to get to that age. Back to my studies. All right, Patrice, see you later. Hi, Elaine. What's once in a lifetime opportunity? I'm giving up going to the pub, socializing, going on holiday. Yeah, and let's hope by the time the 40 days are over, we can get back to it. You told us this lovely story in the Fancy Tarot Lunch Live. Joanna is my person I would read for. Fancy Tarot Lunch Live. Oh, yes, yours. Oh, I typed it in there, did I? I knew I'd said it quite recently. I'm sorry to hear that. Goddess bless your queen. Oh, about the Duke of Edinburgh, yeah. Do you think she'll send Prince Philip a letter when he turns 100? I never realised that not only does she send a telegram when people turn 100, she also sends a letter. I guess they're not called telegrams anymore, are they? She also sends a letter when people celebrate their diamond wedding anniversary. So if they've been married for 60 years, she sends a letter as well. I never knew that. What's pinging? Have I not turned off my emails? Let me quit. The Queen is initiated into many religions from what I've read. Wow. I didn't know that. So nobody's given up anything for Lent. That's good. Apart from Richard, who's given up life. Given up everything. Everything is going. Oh, wow. That's cool. Oh, the 60-year thing. Yeah. I only know because it was on the radio the other day. Somebody rang up on Vanessa Phelps. You can ring up at 6:15 and wish somebody a happy birthday, and they talk about what was the song on the day they were born and all that sort, and then they play it if they're young. If they're too old, then they choose their favorite song, you know, too old as in before charts were around. And he said, yeah, and we just, it was for the parents. My parents have just had their 60-year wedding anniversary and got their letter from the Queen. It's like, I never knew that. My nan has a letter and a photo from the Queen for her 100th. I have it framed on my wall. I've seen it. I've seen it. I was sent a picture once, and I saw it in the background. I was like, is that a telegram from the Queen? You've got a picture of the Queen as well, haven't you? One side and the telegram the other. I'm giving up Lent. I've had to give up being vegetarian for Lent. Wow. Can I give up my work colleagues? Absolutely. That is an interesting question. If you could read for one famous person, who would it be? Yeah, that was one of the questions that Richard asked in his fantasy tarot lunch. I think I said Madonna. That's how that whole Madonna thing in the Facebook group, people are like, that is not Madonna. We're like, it is. Why are you giving things up? It's a Christian tradition over here. If you follow Christianity, today is Ash Wednesday, the day after Pancake Day, and it's remembering Christ's fast for 40 days. So Christians give something up for 40 days to kind of honor that. I don't think there's going to be many people in here though giving things up for Lent. So yeah, so how's everybody doing? I know we've got our Zane feeling a bit anxious at the moment, so I hope you're feeling a bit better, Zane, being here. Talking of Zane, I edged the deck today. So I don't know if you've checked out my latest video. I did a video yesterday, which is a walkthrough of the Zany Tarot, but I've edged it in black, and it's that kind of shiny velvet vinyl. Do you see? It really finishes the deck off lovely. I've done that the wrong way. So it's really a gorgeous deck. Oh, look what cards on top as well. Wonderful, gorgeous 10 of Cups. So yeah, so I've edged that today. Or not giving up things. I think I would want to read for Dwayne Johnson. I don't know Dwayne Johnson. Oh, look, Zane has a space on the stand. Yeah, he does. Well, I had my CS Tarot original there, but, you know, on this little stand, I have my Jumbo CS Tarot, and I have my mini CS Tarot. So I thought, well, I don't need all three sizes out. And Zane's is a deck I'm working with now. So this was my card this morning. And when I edged them, I forgot about this one. I was like, oh, yes, that one needs edging. It's because it's been there since this morning. So I've got the Ace of Cups for today. I love it, Simon. I've been wanting to do mine too, but I've never edged an NPC deck. Well, I used the Sun card, you know, the additional Sun card first, because I said to Chris, if that bled and I messed it up, I would be devastated, just because of, I would buy it again, but just because of how long it takes to get here. And once you've got something and you want to work with it and you love it, to have to wait again another month. So I tried, I edged the, and particularly with it being a different type of Sharpie to what I'm used to using, I edged the Sun card and just watched it to see if there was any bleeding at all, and there wasn't. And it's edged really nice. So, really nice. I find edging deck so stressful. You see, I find it relaxing, really relaxing. Luckily, the deck I was working with had a black border. Yeah, it's easier if there's black borders. But of course, for a deck like this with a black back, it makes it quite easy because you can point the chisel tip. Let me see if I can show you. Here's one that's just a regular. But what you would do is you would point your Sharpie away so it's leaning to the back. So if there was any kind of, it would go to the back, which is black anyway. I used to always get ashes and get centered, but I was never great at Lent fasting. Haven't done any in about 2 years. Hello, Justin. Yeah, my sister does it because, as I say, she's a minister. She's always giving up something for Lent. The Rock, Simon. The Rock. What do you mean, Zane? The Rock, Simon. The Rock. Not sure. Hi, Saoirse. If there's any more comments. I edged my vintage Pam and I love it even more than I already did. Yeah, I think sometimes when you edge or you trim or you back deck, I always see it as like co-creating, and you're adding your own personality to it. And it really does help you bond with a deck anyway when you're spending time modifying it in some way. Oh, Dwayne Johnson is The Rock. Right. I'm going to pretend that I know what you're going on about. I'm sorry you need me to do a reading for you later. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that is. Dwayne Johnson is the actor known as The Rock. So there's an actor out there called Dwayne Johnson. You can see why I'd probably change his name. Dwayne Johnson, and he goes by The Rock. Is that right? It's Cave. The Rock is Dwayne Johnson. It's his stage name as a wrestler. Right, I get it. If he's a wrestler. Because they've all got those kind of names, aren't they? I was thinking that's a bit pretentious. I'm The Rock. The Rock. Not just Rock, like Rock Hudson, but The Rock. Hello, Jonathan. I do trim decks, but I prefer them with the original edges. Oh my gosh, you must look him up, Simon. Is he worth looking up? That's what I used to do to Isabel. Trim, edge, back. He was a WWE wrestler and his character name was The Rock. Yeah. He was in The Scorpion King. Never seen it, never even heard of it. Look him up, Simon. You know him for sure. Do I? Richard, Dwayne Johnson, aka my next husband. Yes, he is worth looking up. I'm going to do it now. I need to see what all this fuss is about. Do I put in The Rock or do I put in Dwayne? I'll put in Dwayne. Oh, it's already suggesting him. Not really. It's a bit of a beefcake. As in, I don't mean, full of figured. I mean, as in a bit of a muscle person, which I don't really like. But yeah, it's not bad looking. There's no Russell Brand, but I won't go all gaga. Oh, well, we all have different tastes. Like if he came knocking on my door, I'd be like, no, I'm busy tonight. Oh, dear. His voice in Mona too. He's great. Have you seen the Mummy films, Simon? I've seen one of them years ago, like when it first came out. I don't remember being that enamoured by it. I saw it at the seaside one night. We didn't have anything to do. We went to the seaside. Went to the cinema, and it was on there and we watched it. I seem to remember something like a high-speed chase and somebody turning into like dust, sand or something. I take it The Rock was in that. My skull arrived today. It is hollow with the top missing. I have a cactus that looks like a green brain coming out to go in it. Wow. Isn't there a recent documentary about him on Netflix or something? He is lovely, but he's no Russell Brand. That's what I said. Or are you quoting me back? He's Samoan. Oh, he's Samoan. And he seems like a kind person too. Good. That's all we need. I love Beefcake. He's a total goofball, which makes him even sexier. Goofball. He has a smashing smile and a great person. So it sounds like he's a really nice person, so that's good. His story is very interesting. Right, Simon. What's that for, Sandra? Right, Simon. He's always lovely on Graham Norton, and he is fab dad to his girls. The Rock played the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns. I haven't seen the Returns one. I have a bit of a crush on Arnold Schwarzenegger. Really? Perhaps back in the day, like in the 80s. Mind you, that sounds a bit ageist, doesn't it? I've not seen him for years, so I can't really. Danny Trejo in the red tutu as Cupid for Valentine's Day. All these names that I don't know. I'm so out the loop. I feel like I'm having a conversation. I feel like I'm at one of those parties where everybody's talking about something that I know nothing about, and you just kind of want to retreat backwards. Just do the quote, Simon. You are not going to catch up on The Rock in this chat. Oh, yes, I've passed the time for the quote. Wow, that half an hour's gone quick. I said, right, Simon, when you said if he came to your door, you would say no thanks. Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Like, who am I trying to kid? Like, if he's like, fancy a drink? I'd be like, no, I'm busy. Arnold has aged well. He still looks good. I haven't seen Arnold Schwarzenegger for years. Beefcake, Russell Brand, teach me to be late. Well, you snooze, you lose, butterfly. Hello, Tanji. Also, I'll probably show these on Saturday in Cup of Catch Up. But I was watching Dory Ralston the other day. And do you remember these? I really, really like these. I've got probably about 10 of these little rock pool little cards. And these are Making Magic by Priestess Moon, is it? Yeah, Priestess Moon. I edged these in black as well. And they've got like symbols on them and keywords like goddess, healing, feminine energy, sun. They're really, really nice. Well, now they brought out a Making Magic Oracle, also by Priestess Moon, of course, published by Rockpool. And the big round cards, and they're in exactly the same style as this, but bigger, and you can use them for, you know, ritual, manifestation, meditation. What are those for? Yeah, all of those things. I've dropped a card. I felt it drop. Bear with me. Where is it gone? Oh. I see it now. if I don't pick it up straight away, I end up like standing on it or something later. Oh, there's the Triskel, the triple spiral. So yeah, they've come out with a full-size version. I wonder if Rockpool are going to do that with all these little decks, like the open doors and things like that. But Making Magic was one of my favourite out of these, so I'm excited to have a look at them. Is Elle here for the quote? I don't think she is. I don't think she is. Jackie's here. Is she sleeping, Jackie? What was that? We was talking about a famous person we would want to read for. I said I'd want to read for... Oh, that's how it all started. Quote time, Richard. Peter wants a cuppa. Go see to that. Right, let's do quote then. Don't think Arrow's here, which means... Or Jen. I've not seen Jen either, so I might have a easier time of it tonight. So, quote of the day. Are you ready? Are you poised? It is an easier one today. Let me just get the chat back up to date. Okay, ready. So, the quote is, the universe is not short on wake-up calls. We're just quick to hit the snooze button. The universe is not short on wake-up calls. We're just quick to hit the snooze button. Poised, says Butterfly. Whenever he says an easy one, I get nervous. Judgment, judgment, judgment. Four of Swords, Four of Swords. Chris has got it today. Closely followed by Zane, closely followed by Richard. It is the Tower. Yeah. So, the reason why, when I pull the Tower, and I have had the Tower very strongly told to me a while back, and I tend to do that sort of thing as, oh, well, you know, it's a warning. And we don't always prepare for the Tower, and that's the whole snooze button thing, because the Tower stands for, you know, that sort of dramatic upheaval and that change, and it's a wake-up call for us. But with the bit about the snooze button, what does it say? We're just quick to hit the snooze button. You know, for some of us, get it in shot again. For some of us, you know, it's not a welcome sight, and one that we'll try for so long to ignore. But sooner or later, just like, you know, when you hit the snooze button, when that alarm, it can be like a sudden jolt, can't it? Where you're in a deep slumber, you're really tired, the alarm goes off, you're in a sudden jolt, and then you think, oh no, I can't get up just yet, and you hit the snooze button. You're putting off the inevitable. Sooner or later, you have got to face the day. You've got to wake up. You've got to swing your legs out that bed and up you go, and turn your alarm off permanently rather than put it on to snooze. So, you know, it is about a huge upheaval. It is a warning when it comes, but it's telling you to prepare for it. And that's why it always shows the foundation is a solid rock. It's actually the tower that's crumbling away. And if we can prepare ourselves in readiness, then we're better protected. And going forward, we're better protected because we build on firmer foundations. Hitting the snooze button, you know, is putting off the inevitable. Let's go back and see what you're saying. Oh no, my aunt just went into hospital due to COVID. Oh no, Jonathan. Well, thoughts and prayers. How are we supposed to snooze through that? Well, some people do. Some people, even when the tower moment hits, a lot of us will bury our heads and hope that it'll go away. May I just say for L, what? Well, it was got very quick. I dreamed of the tower and pulled it 2 days in a row a few weeks ago, and it was a tower day. There you are, you see. I've ordered them making magic cards and Oracle. Simon made me do it. You've not even seen them yet. You can't blame me. I didn't make you do it. I've not even showed them. Oh, there's Jen. Thinking about this. Do you know one day you'll say, yeah, I can relate to that, Simon. You know, thank you for giving us that quote and helping us to see a card from a different perspective. Zane says, damn, if I hadn't have typed the, I may have won. That's true. Can have joint winner if you want. I think I was first, says Richard. No, in order of mine, it was Elemental, and then it was Tarot Oak, and then Longman. Congratulations, Mr. Chris. You see, that's very magnanimous. Richard has conceded and allowed you the victory. Elle wouldn't afford you that courtesy. Interesting that I got the news right when Simon pulled the tarot card. The news? The explanation makes more sense than the quote. Yeah, well, you have to kind of explain the quote, I suppose, don't you? Can we make a book out of this? Simon quotes the day tarot. If you want to go back since January and write them all down, then be my guest. Great coffee table book. There is the pithy tarot, isn't there? I should perhaps dig that out off the bookshelf and get some quotes out of there. And then if people are like, you what? I can say, well, it's actually from this book. And blame the book rather than me. I'm well versed in what it's like to lose to Al. I'm never going to be first as I'm always trying to prep tea at the same time. But thank you, Simon. I'm listening. You never know. You might just have that little break. What song do you think of with the tower? Lights go out. Walls come tumbling down. Yes, they do. What's the song called? Well, the song's called Walls Come Tumbling Down. Is it Tears for Fears? Or is it the Style Council? I think it's Tears for Fears, Walls Come Tumbling Down. Bohemian Rhapsody. Burning Down the House. I'm not sure on that one. What's Burning Down the House? Who sings that? I'm Still Standing by Elton John. That's maybe a better song to respond to the tower with. Which Elton John? Burning Down the House by Talking Heads. Oh, I need to hear it. Who sang? Let me have a look. And then I'll do Deck of the Day. Oh, I've opened up and I've got Dwayne's face smiling at me. Walls Come Tumbling Down. It's the Style Council, not Tears for Fears. Did I say it's all Style Council? Yeah, Walls Come Tumbling Down by the Style Council. Just the first song that came into my head, really. Seeing a building being destroyed. It's about, standing up against government, though, isn't it? Disturbed, The Light. The Bee Gees movie. Didn't know there was a Bee Gees movie. Last Kiss. Beds Are Burning. Although that may be more of a Three of Swords song. Songs for the Tarot. Yeah, could be a thread. A tag. All right, let's do Deck of the Day because we're already up to 11 minutes past. Today is flying by. So today's a bit of a classic one, a well-loved deck within the community, and it is Tarot of the Hidden Realm. I do need to kind of give a bit of a caveat though, because I've got a bit of a hybrid deck here. I may have mentioned it before. So this is a modern Llewellyn, because originally it was in that big flimsy tuck box. The card stock in this new version was pants. I just couldn't. So I was able to get hold of, through a trade, the original card stock when it was good, and I just gifted the newer cards to somebody who didn't mind them being so thin. So this one, it doesn't sit perfectly in. It is larger than the tray, but that's because it's a thicker deck. But I love it. I was so relieved when I could get the old cardstock from it. It comes in this with this book. The box is really lovely. Of course, it's Julia Jeffrey, who's just a stunning artist. She's working on some other decks, another deck at the moment. Is it? What's it called? The new deck that she's working on. Oh, I'm even following the group on Facebook. Somebody help me. Oh, Stephen's using this deck for this month. Witch Sister, thank you. Witch Sister, which looks incredible. I edged this deck in purple because there is like a purple tint on somewhere like, I think it was Eclectic Tarot. It describes it as being a grey scale back, but I can definitely see like a tint of lilac in there, and I edged it in purple and I love it. I used to work the coat check in New York City at the Lone Star Cafe. Took Robert Plant and his wife's coats. Oh, wow. This is a deck I always forget I have until someone mentions it. I was stunned. I bet you were. I used to work at a motorway service station on the M1, the main London to Leeds motorway, and seen so many famous people, and it always kind of takes you back when you spot them. This is my winter deck, says Sarah. Oh, you had yours in purple too, Sandra. Woo, says Jackie. Yeah, so it is a Fey deck. It's the Hidden Realms. It's the, the secret world, the liminal space. And I got this deck at the same time as I read the book, The Call. So I always see these characters always remind me of the characters from The Call. Here's the porn stash magician that everybody talks about, but I love his body art. So gorgeous. So yeah, so this cardstock is really nice, really nice. Any chance you remember which purple you used for edging, Simon? It was the purple chisel tip Sharpie. So if you go to Amazon or anywhere and you put in Sharpie chisel tips, you get a range of colors, and there's one in there that's purple, and it was this one, and it took really lovely. High Priestess is gorgeous. I love the kind of the close-up images as well. There's that Empress. Yes, The Call is a good book. The Emperor. Here's our Hierophant. And you just feel like you're entering another world with these Fae people. Look at the Lovers as well. It's a tree spirit. The Chariot is the Fiery Stallion. They've got a little bit of a gloss, but it's not a heavy set gloss. It's quite subtle, but it does give a shine under a light. Hence why I'm tilting the cards a little bit, just so you can see the images. There's the strength card and this beautiful wolf. Oh, you have a purple chisel tip Sharpie. I love it. The red sharp is nice as well. I did my Vampire Tarot, not the Robert M. Place one. Tarot Vampires, is it? In red, and that came out really nice. I love that hermit. Look at her face. Yes, Witch Sister seems to have been taking a long time to come to market, doesn't it? It's at least a couple of years since I've seen that first. Same as Arnatorian's deck. I'm terrible at remembering things. I almost had it then. I met a lot of celebrities too, and most of them were disappointing. I only met one horrible celebrity, and I've mentioned it before. I won't bang on about it again, but... And, you know, everybody has off days, but... Death card is fab. Oh, that's nice. Emily edged hers in gold, similar to the borders at the bottom. I've got a beautiful red Winsor & Newton I can't wait to use. Yeah, Winsor & Newton are good pens to use for edging as well. Sharpies or Winsor & Newton. They've never let me down. The Blasted Beach, the Tower card. Star card is adorable. And I love the moon. Look at that tor in the background, or burial ground. It's amazing. Sun. And then we have Life Renewed for Judgment. And I really like that. You've got this little acorn, look, showing the cyclical nature. So rather than being called from the grave and the final judgment, it's Life Renewed. I love the Celtic design on her breastplate. The world. So I'll go quickly through the minors. All of the aces are animals. Oh, Justin was a bellhop. I bet you saw some size, Justin. There's our ace, the otter, the two of cups, which is beautiful. So it's RWS inspired, as you can see. It's the perfect red shade. I'm thinking of using it on the Zoracle to match the leaves on the backs. Oh, that's the berry red. The moon is stunning, yeah. I was so disappointed though when I got this with the cardstock. I was like, and then people were showing older videos. I was watching walkthroughs of older videos, and they was going on about how amazing the cardstock was. I was like, are you serious? So I was really relieved to be able to get an old one. One day I'll write a book. Please do. What the bellhop saw. Called Porters here. He's got a really gentle face. Isn't that a gorgeous card? The king. Beautiful ace of wands with the fox. Such a gorgeous deck. One of my favourite things was when I met Joan Byers, and she told me Bob Dylan was an asshole. I can believe it. I've seen Bob Dylan in concert. Oh, he went on and on and on. I was not really a Bob Dylan fan, but a friend of mine was, and really wanted me to go along. So I went along, but there was one song that I knew. I mean, he's got a huge repertoire, hasn't he? You know, not only the ones he's performed, but the ones he's written for people and can perform live. But I think he went on for like 3.5 hours. I mean, people got the money's worth, but I was like, oh. And the only song I knew was Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. And I mean, loads of people love him. I'm not going to knock him. He's an artist and he's talented. But he does have that voice that kind of, you know what I mean? It kind of drones a bit. And he was droning for 3.5 hours. I love her flame red hair. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh. Yeah. Make You Feel My Love is beautiful. Oh, I missed out on seeing Tina Turner, Tammy Pie. I'd love to have seen her. This card, you have to really look at it because obviously it's a marking. But when you first look at it, it's like his skin is being parted. You know, like he's had a cut and they're parting the skin. It's like something out of Hannibal. His voice is unintelligible now. It got worse with age. Yeah, it was about... I'm a big fan. I would have loved that. It was about 10 years ago, I think. Maybe a little bit more. 12 years or so ago. Do you know, it could even be 20. Do you know, I reckon it's 20. I think it was like 1999. My gosh, those moments. I did that the other day now. I was talking about the 80s being 20 years ago. And I realised it was 30 years ago. I'm missing whole decades out. Then we have swords. Roy Ward from Wizard. I went past his hat. He's from Birmingham, isn't he? He's actually got a star in the pavement at Birmingham. Gorgeous. So energetic. I don't know how she did it, but she danced and sang for almost 2 hours. She's a legend. She's a powerhouse. To think that, you know, she had fame with I Can Tina Turner Review, but when she went for it on her own, 1984, she was 40, you know, and back then, I mean, even now, you can't get played on Radio 1 in this country if you're over the age of 30, I think, or you've been around for 10 years. There's some stupid rule. You get relegated to other channels like Radio 2, etc. That's why I love Radio 2. So back then, you know, Tina Turner became huge global superstar in her 40s. This at the Ace of Pentacles is gorgeous. Just look. We're all talking about music. I don't think anybody's interested in this deck. I'm showing it all and I'm like reading all the comments out about music and stuff. I love that. stone altar there. It's a very pale card. It's nice, but it seems a lot paler than the others. Oh, the badges. Oh, Holly's just put the deck on her wish list. It's gorgeous. It really is, you know. Really, really beautiful. And Julia's such a talented artist. I've got, I think it was my friend Elaine from Scotland who gave it me. Like, there's some art cards and they glow in the dark and they're raised. Got them next to my bed. There's like 12. Oh, gorgeous. I need to pull this deck out again. Jen, I decided a long time ago this deck wasn't for me. I tried the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle deck, but I ended up giving it away. Wow. Debbie still has a giant concert program from 1985. Who was that for? This is reigniting my desire to use the deck again, says Zane, and edge it. And when you look how beautiful that is. It's a Christmassy feel. It's like a Christmas card, isn't it? When you edge it as well, you'll get that deeper connection. Look how thick it is. Not like it is now. But I do think the art is beautiful. Yeah, it is. I had to put them in order today, and it was nice seeing them all again. But yeah, so it doesn't fit in the well because it wasn't designed for these cards. It was designed for the new cards. Oh my gosh, it's nearly past. Nearly past. Let's pull a card. What's that? Q of P, Queen of Pentacles. Jen's Balanced Tarot. Queen of Pentacles. She's 9 of Pentacles. Was Queen of Swords. Now identifies more with Queen of 9 of Pentacles. What are the dates for the 2 editions? I'm not sure. I'm not sure when the first one even came out. In the deck. Oh, right. You see. Oh, okay. Time has gone quickly today. It really has, Ness. I mean, it always goes quick anyway, but when somebody said, oh, quote at the den, I looked up and it was 2 minutes to 6. I was like, where did that half an hour go? I think it depends on the day. Or how much grief I'm getting about the quote. All right. A message for us for the next 24 hours. No jumpers today, so a split. The Sphinx. Sphinx? Shouldn't it be Sphinx? Oh, I just totally made that up. Shouldn't it be? Shouldn't there be a H there? I've always said Sphinx, but anyway, Sphinx. Oh, I guess it's time to find that balance. We need to have a moderation of in all things, really. Find a balance in every aspect of life. I love the fact that here, you know, we get that duality. We get Not only the fact it's representative of yin and yang, the black and the white, but we also get half human, half beast, you know. And in this fast-paced life that we are in this modern world, it's so important for us to find the balance in everything that we do, you know. Otherwise, it's like with the Chariot card, we're pulled in all different directions. So let's apply the brakes. Let's make sure we've got an equal balance between work life, personal life, that we're not taking on too much, that we've got enough time to rest and recuperate and not being on the go all the while. So, you know, when we find balance in all aspects of our lives, that's when it pays dividends for our overall general health and well-being. So be sure to get it right. Don't overload yourself with things. I've got an itchy nose. You're welcome, Emily. Actually, it is 2 sphinxes. So is it Sphinx? Why did I think it was Sphinx? You're right, Simon. I saw someone on the Etsy shop point out some errors. Oh, so it is Sphinx. Yeah, it should be Sphinx. I thought so. As soon as I read it, I thought, Sphinx? Thanks so much. Love to you and your mum. Thank you. Yeah, so have a wonderful hump day, everybody. I hope it's going well for you all. Make sure you find the balance and you get some rest today too. I'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, for another QuaranStream. So I hope to see you all then. And yeah, it's lovely to hang out with you as always. So until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.